Well, hello, and welcome everybody. Welcome to Audio. It's going to be a great day here today. We're going to be reviewing X-Men '97. The first two episodes are out on Disney Plus. I've just watched them both, and yeah, pretty excited to tell you about it. I've been a big fan of X-Men for a long time. Didn't read a lot of the comics, but definitely a couple of them. But me and I used to watch the show. I'm old enough to be around when it used to come out on TV regularly. We used to watch it on Saturday mornings. Me and my brother, we'd go out like early in the morning, watch the TV. Like Smoggies, Inspector Gadget, Smurf, whatever else was on. But then that always came on before BattleTech, and I always look forward to X-Men every week. They had just great adventures, awesome characters, super awesome powers, and really great to hear that this one is actually going to be picking off right where the episodes end there in season 5. So, yeah. So, anyways, let's get it going. One of my favorite parts about it was the theme song, and thankfully, yeah, the theme song is still here. There's a new rendition of it, and it's fantastic. Like, I love it. It just as soon as it starts up, I'm like, yeah, all right, this is gonna be hopefully good. Like, you never know, right? But the song for sure was awesome. So it starts off like pretty cool, actually. Like, there's of course some guys committing some crimes. We've got. They've got a mutant captured. They're wearing collars. They're using those to, disrupt the mutant's powers. So, of course, the X-Men are going to show up to help save this kid, and the bad guys are pretty awesome. They're pretty rough. Look like they're gonna they're gonna they're like, yeah, we're gonna shoot you if you don't tell us what your powers are or whatever. He doesn't tell. Anyway, they've got him collared anyway. So Storm and Bishop, they show up. Storm has an awesome entrance. She just like blasts through the ceiling, like, oh, and like she meets up with Bishop and they start fighting. And she's like, "We're trying to take the peace away." And Bishop's like, "Is this peaceful?" It's really good. They're awesome. I love Bishop too. Like, he can takes damage and absorbs it and can shoot it back out. So, but they both get incapacitated somehow right into combat, and then Cyclops shows up. Oh, he's awesome. He just bursts through a door, like, and he's just like, he's blasting his eye beams, and when he's blasting them, he's like going back this way or that way, depending on how he shoots his eye beams. When he's fighting, oh, it's really cool. The fight scenes are great. I love the animation the whole way through. It really reminds me of the older one. The animation in the old one, there's 5 seasons. Season 5 and season 1 don't have the exact same animation, which everyone will know if you watched it. But hey, this is good. I really, really, really enjoyed it. All the characters get introduced there. There's a big Sentinel arm there when they're fighting, and the Sentinels. I like this. This is kind of a callback, because in the first X-Men season, that's what they do as well as Sentinels. They do some fighting with them. I think it's where they get Jubilee in a mall. She's actually being chased by Sentinels. They reference it even. She does. And she says doohickey, which she's fantastic. So, anyways, after that, they rescue him, and Cyclops gets incapacitated too by the Sentinel arm. And they don't know where they got that technology, basically, right? Because that should be done, because, Bolivar Trask and everyone from the earlier episodes should have, this shouldn't be happening, basically. There should be no more Sentinels. So anyway, they rescue him, and they take the collar off, take him back, and they want to know what his powers are, so they actually put him in, the danger room, and they have, a fake Magneto show. That was pretty cool intro for Magneto, even though it wasn't really him. And then Wolverine shows up, and he thinks it's part of the danger room, but it's not. Wolverine's voiced, I think, by the same person. It's really cool. He sounds great. Everyone sounds pretty good. Rogue sounds great too. I think it's a lot of the same voice actors. It's hard, I don't really know. But anyway, they basically, he won't tell anyone what his powers is. Jubilee and him kind of bond, but then he sort of takes off, right? So Jean has to go they got to figure out where Bolivar Trask is. So they have Guy Rich already. I think he's in prison or custody or whatever. So they offer him a deal instead of 25 years, knock to 10 type thing. He won't take it. So basically they, Jean sort of puts on, oh my God, I can't even remember the name of it now, but it's the thing that Professor Xavier used to use to read minds. She has that power too, right? So anyway, she puts it on, and then basically she reads his mind, and she figures out that there's going to be a second Master Mold, right? And that their Bolivar Trask has built a backup one, right? So that's where it is. And then they have to go find, so they're going to deal with that, but they also have to go find the kid who got let loose, right? And they go to this dance club because Wolverine's sniffing him out. And it's actually pretty good music in there. I liked it. It was a pretty cool scene they were going through. There's a bunch of anti-mutant people, and they take them out, but you don't really see it. And then they rescue him, and you still don't find out what his power is there. But it's pretty cool. And then after that, they're gonna go try to find the Master Mold. So they get in a plane and they're flying, and then my favorite scene for sure. Like the plane gets shot down, they're all falling out, and like of course Storm can fly, Rogue can fly, so they're like catching everybody. And Cyclops is falling, and like no one goes to catch him. I'm like, wait, I don't. What is he gonna do? He as he's going towards the ground, he just blasts with his eyes like just huge. The whole screen goes red as he's falling, makes like a giant crater. And like just like earlier when he was beaming and like going like that, he shot it straight down so he wouldn't die when he hit the ground. And like it was cool. And then he like hits the ground. He's like, "To me, my X-Men," and they all show up behind him, and they're all in the scene. Like, oh, it's really cool. And then they go in to go for Master Mold, and then like it is just awesome. It's just a crazy fight. Just me and my brother used to play X-Men Legends back in the day, or like just like Marvel Ultimate Alliance and stuff, where they do like combo moves and team up moves. Everyone gets moments in this. Gambit is there. Gambit get introduced earlier. He's wearing a crazy outfit. It's awesome. Like, and he's like throwing cards and stuff, and his accent is back. Oh yeah, Jean Grey is also pregnant. I forgot to mention she is pregnant. Her and Skylar are gonna have a baby. But anyway, the fight is great. Like the Sentinels are coming up. Everyone's getting really cool moments. Rogue like rips one in half and throws it at the other one. Like, oh, it's great. And then they're like, all of a sudden Storm's coming. You're like, oh, Omega level mutant threat. And I was like, this is gonna be cool. And it was cool. She comes in just like blasting lightning. Like, oh, it was dope. And then they go in and they find Master Mold, and like it's a whole nother fight. And then of course his head gets taken off, right? Cyclops takes it off. Cyclops is great in this. Like he's fantastic. He's kind of like the leader now that Xavier's gone. He's filling that void, but he's gonna have a baby, so I think he's gonna leave. That's kind of what they're hinting at here. And then anyway, after that, Sentinels defeated. Great, humanity and everyone's saved. And they kind of go back, and then out of nowhere, Magneto is at their base, and it's Charles Xavier's will has left the entire X-Men place to Magneto, like one of their crazy enemies. Like, oh no, what? Is that really him, the leader of the Brotherhood? Yeah. And then anyway, the episode ends. I was like, oh my goodness. I was really happy there was two, because then I just went right into the second one. So that's the end of episode 1. Lots of action, lots of excitement. It was a great comeback. I'm going to go right into episode 2. Episode 2 starts off, pretty much like right there. And you find out that, everything's been left to Magneto and the Will. And now, actually, he's going to be the leader of the X-Men. He kind of comes out then with like a different suit. It's really cool. It's got like an M on it. And he's like flying through the air, and he's using his magnetic powers. And like, he's like, instead of Magneto, it's like Magnet Hero. Like, he's really, really good. And it's cool. He's like saving people, and they're like, is that Magneto? It's like, yeah, this is Magneto saving people. It was really different. I hadn't really seen that, right? Like, I know, and he finds the Morlocks, and like they're underground, they're in trouble. They're like, these people are down there, these anti-mutant people. And Magneto just shows up, and he's just like uber powered, just like floating through the air, just launching metal at them, like covering their mouths when they start talking back to him and stuff. Frees all the Morlocks, uses a bunch of the money they got left to him to fly them all to Genosha, the mutant land where they'll be safe, right? And he's like, I don't know why Charles ever didn't do that. He's like taking a dig, but like also, hey, did something pretty good, right? Like, if for them anyway. And so they're like, wow, is this guy actually going to turn around good? And then, of course, the government shows up, bunch of guns, right? And they're like, we're here to get Magneto. And Magneto keeps wanting the X-Men to trust him, and of course they don't, right? And he's like, well, if I go with them, like, will you trust me? And they're like, oh, our guns are like, plastic, and you would use electricity. You can't use your power on them. He's like, so you should think twice. He's like, I should think twice. And he lifts up all the helicopters that came in. And I was like, oh no. But yeah, he just says like, I'll go peacefully. And he goes with them to court. And I was like, oh, okay, wow. That didn't play out the way I thought it was going to. So then he goes to the court, and he's actually defending himself in court, like legally against like a bunch of judges and stuff. And they're like, I don't know, talking about all the deaths and stuff. And he's talking about why he did all the things. And, anyway, when they're in there, it just goes insane. The courtroom gets attacked. Protesters break in. Storm has to kind of take over and like just has to take charge. Like, get that collar off him. Like, we need him to defend against these guys. They're going to kill everyone. They're like, why are they going to kill the judges? Like, because you gave me a trial is what Magneto says, right? So he's given a lot of speeches through that trial. He's given a lot of speeches in this episode. It's pretty epic. He's he's a guy that has a lot of power and a lot of people are afraid of. So they all start coming in. And of course, while this is going on, out of nowhere, Jean's like, "Hey, I'm having the baby, Wolverine." And he's like, "What's that?" And then, like, the coat's in his hand, keys are in his hands, like, "We're going now." And they get in the car, they're driving to the hospital. She's, like, moving stuff out of the way with her powers, her telekinesis and stuff. It's pretty cool. And then they get into the hospital, and, like, and of course, Cyclops is there fighting these guys that are, like, breaking into the courthouse and attacking. So he's not there for his baby, but then she reaches out to him through the mind, and then, like, he leaves to go there. And, like, Magneto just basically, like, the people that are coming in to attack the anti-mutant people, they have a guy with them called Executioner. And he has, like, a special gun on his back that will have this radiation shot that will remove mutant abilities like the college do, except it should be, like, permanent because it'll change them genetically, right? Anyway, he wants to shoot Magneto with that. He tries to, and Storm takes the bullet. And, like, so she loses her power. And Magneto just, like, grabs, like, a big shield, takes all that guy's guns off him, lifts him and, like, all the judges up into the air. Like, it's insane. He goes, like, almost up into space right next to it, and he tells them, like, you know, this is how the world looks from up here. Anyway, it's pretty cool. And then after that, she loses her powers. Cyclops gets to the hospital. Wolverine is threatening to murder doctors. The doctors won't deliver the baby because it's a mutant. And then so Rogue steals the doctor's powers, and they have a baby boy, which is really cool. And then everything is, like, you know, kind of resolved a little bit, but they go back to the place. And then the only other thing that happens really is they're there, and they're like, what are we going to do about everything, you know? And then another Jean just shows up out of nowhere. I think that's, yeah. Another Jean just shows up out of nowhere, and they're just like, what is that? And also, Genosha gets recognized by the UN. They mentioned that, too, so that was a big thing. So anyway, that was the first 2 episodes. I really like the old X-Men. I think this is a great return to form. A lot of the same voice actors are back. The action's great. The animation is fun. You know, like... The only real downside is Xavier's not there, but you never know, he'll be back. But this is kind of, they're picking up from where that happened, right? So overall, I would highly recommend it. If you like the old X-Men, the old animated one, you're going to really enjoy this one. And if you haven't seen that one, it's still a good jumping on point. I have, like I said, I have them all on DVD myself. You can catch them all on Disney Plus. But yeah, a lot of fun. Highly recommend. And thanks for watching this far. Really appreciate that. If you're still here, please like and subscribe. And thanks for coming in. Stay out of trouble and have a great day.